If the ending is good, I might pick up the manga because at this point I'm too invested to the show to I just don't want to read it.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
Yo, what's up, Matthew?
Not too much, Connor. We're recording. It's snowing outside.
Starting to look a lot like Christmas.
It's starting to look like the holiday season.
Here,
anyways. Yeah.
I'm sure some places don't
But-
have snow ever.
It was a solid, good first snowfall,
Yep.
I think, for
Yeah.
this season. Just worked, watched some anime, and now we're here.
We're here, and welcome back to the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, everybody.
Welcome back to our longest running
Series.
Yeah,
Yep.
it would have
longest
to be
running
still,
series.
yeah.
This is gonna be the winter 2025 anime season. We're already done 2024. Flew by.
Whack, dude.
Which means there's a lot of things to come, obviously, because that means we're going to be
Yes.
getting into probably the Crunchyroll Awards early next year. We're going to be covering next week the top sold
Manga
manga.
of the year.
So
I
there's a lot of
think
yearly recaps.
Yearly stuff for that, just in anime and manga. And then on top of that, in the next couple months, we'll have the new Captain America movie. We'll have season 3 of What If. We'll have the Skeleton Crew.
There's a lot.
So
Busy. It's going to be a busy start to the new year.
but it'll be fun.
And what better way to start off than with some anime? But before we
Exactly.
dive into this anime, we're just going to briefly talk about the current season that's airing, which is the last season, which is obviously the fall 2024 season. So let us know in the comments below what you've been watching. What was your favorite show, or if there's maybe a standout that you weren't planning on watching and you did that we should check out. We would love to hear it in the comments below, and that goes for both Spotify also has comments and YouTube.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I guess, Matt, is there anything that you watched that surprised you this fall season, or just in general that you liked?
Yeah, I mean, actively, I'm only watching 2 shows. But I plan to watch 2 more, and then there's one that I will eventually get to, but I'll explain that in a sec. Obviously, the big one of the season would be Dan to Dan.
Yep, for sure.
I say the big one of the season for it being a season 1, because obviously, if you listen to their Watch of the Fall season episode, there was a lot of season 2s, even in the summer one too. So it was good to see a good fresh anime.
Yeah, it's premiere anime.
Premiere anime, highly recommended, and it is still going strong. I quite enjoy the show. It's a treat.
It's unique.
It's unique to say the
It
least.
has its
has its moments.
It has its je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Yes, and Science Saru definitely has done a really fantastic job on the animation front. I
Agreed.
think they've done chef kiss, honestly. I don't really have any complaints.
Agreed. Another one I'm currently watching is based on a light novel, but it's Demon Lord 2099. If you listen to the fall anime episode, Connor and I make a joke being like, "Oh, do you think they were inspired by a different 2099?" But yeah, so you're looking at a movie that takes place in the year 2099. It's all peaked evolution, high-tech universe kind of thing. And it's basically a dude who's hundreds and hundreds of years old basically wakes up in a futuristic society. Futurama-esque, basically, but anime. And he's a demon lord.
Fair. Why not?
So I'm enjoying it. It's really funny because this is not getting too far in the anime, but by episode 3, he's now a streamer, and he's trying to get followers and get his followers back to how it was centuries ago when he had his big cult following.
Yep.
So to me, it's very funny. I
Kind of
enjoy
meta
it.
too.
Exactly. And then other shows that I did not get yet to watch, but I wanted to, was Blue Box.
Yep.
Which seems like a really fun sports style anime without focusing too heavy on the sports.
Yeah, it's definitely a romance
sports.
story with sports.
Yeah. And then the other one I wanted to watch was You and Miss Servant.
Okay, yeah.
Which was I think we described it as a different style of Spy Family, basically. It's similar feel. And then the only other one I was going to hopefully watch eventually would be the newest season of Blue Exorcist, but I need to watch 2 seasons before that.
I'm surprised you're
But
not just every
it's-
time they release one, you're just not on. I would expect you to be right on top of that.
Well, stay tuned because I think there's a new season coming in winter 2025, so I'm going to try and catch up.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna crank it out.
They're only 12 episode seasons, so it's not going to be too bad. But
Fair enough.
I need to figure out because I know one of the seasons isn't fully canon or it's like mixed canon. Or
Are you
something.
going to be pretty picky about making sure you're watching canon content or just?
I think for Blue Exorcist, in comparison, say like Naruto, for example, Blue Exorcist, including all 4 seasons, I think is under 60 eps. So for me, I feel no need to skip a single episode in a 12 episode season.
That's fair.
Like to me, I'm like, well, I might.
You
as
could
well
also
just
argue
watch
there's
it.
no reason to have non-canon content. in
Also
60
true. So I'm very curious about that. I do need to see the comparison of it.
You got to read it.
I want to read it, but I also need to try and remember what happened in season 1.
Okay. Yeah. See, this is my thing. I've watched Blue Exorcist early on,
Yeah.
and I just feel like it hits that sweet spot of like this is a good kind of like our anime of the month that we just watched.
Yeah.
Which if you haven't already checked it out, we do an anime of the month every month. This month is Tokyo Godfathers. So if you want to contribute and join our Discord, you can do so. Link will be down in our description box, and you can give your 2 cents on Tokyo Godfathers and you can be part of the podcast. Anyways, yeah, it's just pretty standard shonen,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Like good kind of to start
Good
someone off.
concept, good story.
I don't feel as invested.
See, for me, it's part of me feels like not nostalgia because that's way too soon to say nostalgia, but like knowing that was like my first anime or like in that area, being like, man, is it gonna hold up if I were to go back and watch it? Is
No.
it gonna hold up if
No.
I'm gonna read it?
It won't.
But then also I look at the artwork for these newer seasons and I'm like, it looks good. Like, but it's also I'm really curious how long they can stretch this story out.
I
If
could
it's
see
gonna be
reading it.
good.
Because that's like probably the quickest way to just catch up to the story
Yeah.
and see how you feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's almost too generic feeling.
That's fair.
But hey, I mean, you'll let us know, I guess, because you'll probably end up watching it, and I'm sure we'll all know if we should or not.
Exactly. But Connor, what are you watching?
Yeah, so
From
very
fall.
similarly, Dan to Dan, I think is probably right at the top, along with Blue Box. I think Blue Box has been animated really well. We also had ReZero's 3rd season as well, with all 3 of these shows have been good, well received. We should obviously talk about some of the not so well received things. We have Blue Lock season 2. Bit of a yikes on that one on all fronts, even people
Yeah.
who don't know it. The NFL commented on a post from Crunchyroll
I did see.
saying Blue Lock fans deserve better. So that's how bad it is. That's how memeable Blue Lock is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, we had Uzumaki, which first episode looked unreal, and unfortunately the rest could not follow through, which is unfortunate to see another the adaptation for horror content specifically, especially by Junji, is just continues to be horrid. So was an unfortunate. And Tower of God season 2's part 2, I'm still watching that mostly because I'm invested in the story and I want to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also not great. And then for ones that have surprised me, actually, I've been watching a one called Orb.
Oh, I heard of
Orb
this
on
one.
the Movements of the Earth.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. If you're into, I guess, because it's kind of like historical drama, I guess you could say. It's very interesting if you like astronomy and just honestly, it's really hard to explain. You kind of just have to watch the first, like almost like a mini arc, which is like the first 2 episodes, I'd say.
Now it's not on Crunchyroll. I see.
It's on
Seems to be
Netflix.
on Netflix. Yeah.
But definitely caught me by surprise. It's been very good, very enjoyable. Not what you would expect for sure, and it's something different. It is a little on the slower side of things, but if you're okay with that, I think you should definitely check it out. What else? Nothing else too crazy. I haven't gotten to watching this yet, but there's anime called Mecha Ude Mechanical Arms, which was originally like a fan-funded anime. So I'm kind of just interested to see how much passion went into the project and see how it does.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited to jump into next year because I know that there are some heavy hitters
I am
going
looking
to this next season.
through Fall. Something we might as well mention, because we talk about One Piece a lot. During the season, One Piece fan letter came out.
One Piece fan letter came out as well as the
starting of
they started doing the Fishman Island
condensed, abridged.
the One Piece, the official One Piece version of their own anime by Toei.
Jumping from
which I have seen clips of.
Does it look
and
good?
It looks decent. The one thing that's really nice is just the removal of a lot of the filler flashbacks, the filler scenes that are just so unnecessary, or frames that just are filling useless time. And it's crazy to see how much, I mean, if you've ever watched any of the One Piece, you would notice side by side comparison how much is put in that's just so unnecessary. Just nice to see that in terms of, we'll see if they end up doing it for the whole thing. I think One Piece the anime would look pacing wise feel a lot better.
They did do that for like older ones too, right? But they made it into like an 1.5 hour special, which kind of
because that didn't cover all of the content.
Okay.
Those were just more like, if you didn't want to watch all of East Blue, you could watch this and get the gist of East Blue.
Gotcha. Because I know there's like a Skypiea one.
Yeah, and that's the issue with them is they're more of like a summary of like, this is everything, and they kind of get a lot of the key moments, but even some key moments are left out of those as well. They're not the best way to watch. It's just the fastest way to catch up.
That makes sense.
You could argue. But I would never recommend those. I would say if you're in a real hurry and you really want to catch up One Piece, the best way is just to read it.
Yep.
Even if you're not a reader, it is definitely one of the fastest ways to catch up.
Yeah.
Save you some time.
It's true.
But yeah, without further ado, we'll jump into the winter 2025 anime season. And for this, we're going to be following our same
system as
same
always.
Formula. Well, same formula we did the last episode, which is our good editor, Matthew, will be throwing up our anime in the middle.
Right there.
Middle?
Right there.
I don't know. One of these directions.
Yeah, we'll see.
He'll throw up the anime we're discussing. And without further ado, we're on livechart.me, which is our go-to basically.
Yeah.
For seeing the preview of the anime season. And we're organized by popularity, English titles, and we're hiding the previous seasons if there's anything carrying over.
Yeah.
So, Solo Leveling Season 2. This is a watch. This is absolutely going to be watching. I think they did a really great job on Season 1, and from the trailers I've seen, it's looking like they're going to continue.
Cooking?
Yeah, they're continuing.
A1 Pictures, good.
So, if you haven't already, if you want just a really solid action anime with a little bit more of a unique flair to it, kind of gamified, if you will, in the real world.
But not an easy guy.
Exactly.
Not an Isekai.
You should check it out. Matt's going to be probably watching the first season
1.
soon,
Yeah.
so.
Is there a movie coming out too? I'm seeing some advertisement for a Solo Leveling movie.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
But I haven't been too caught up on a lot of the movies. Things are getting really confusing with movies.
That's why I'm like, is it canon? Is it not canon?
Thanks a lot, Demon Slayer.
Solo Leveling movie. Yeah, it's in theaters. Yeah, Solo Leveling Reawakening. What is? Oh, okay. So it's a recap of season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, plus a couple new episodes. So it's
the
Demon
formula,
Slayer.
What they've been doing.
Yeah.
In the past for their introduction of the new season, I guess.
Yeah, so it's the recap of the episodes from season 1 into movie format, plus the first 2 episodes of season 2 will be showed.
Nice.
That seems. I don't know. I don't like that formula. The money.
Definitely
grab.
a way to get money. Yeah, it's if it was going into the animator, like if we knew that the animators were getting such a good chunk, then it wouldn't feel as bad.
Yeah,
but we know that that's most likely not the case, unfortunately. 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, Season 2. I've heard actually some pretty good things about the first season of this show. I haven't watched it yet, but considering it's second on the popularity list, it would appear that a lot of people are excited for it.
Now, this one I think you're excited for, the Apotha Diary Season 2.
Yeah, the Apothecary Diaries season 2.
Yeah.
This I've been doing my absolute hardest not to read ahead.
I'm proud of you for that.
I definitely fall in line with the I really liked this because I haven't read it yet and I watched the anime. I'm like, okay, I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it has taken a lot, but I haven't gone ahead of it, and I wanted to. But once the announcement came out, I was like,
season
okay,
2.
I can wait. It's not too far. And I'm super excited. It's such a beautifully animated show. So as long as Toho and OLM stay true to what they were already doing, then it's gonna look unreal, and the story is just different. It's nice to have a change of pace and than your general isekais and just full of action shows. So I highly recommend it. It's super fun, and it doesn't feel slow considering the content is more drama focused.
Okay.
So I would highly recommend it personally.
Nice. Now, this next one, I've been recommended by one of our common friends to read this manga.
This
He
manga
was
is
obsessed with it.
this manga is super popular.
I love the concept for it. I think it's really fun.
It's not It's not an original concept, but I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Organized crime, comedy, action, adult cast. But yeah, Sakamoto Days.
Very popular Shonen Jump manga at the moment, and I think this series going will have, especially early on in the 2025, I think will shoot Sakamoto Days right up the sales.
I think so too.
For sure, because it's just a very approachable story.
Yeah, I'll read the description for those who are listening or don't know anything about it. But Sakamoto Days is Taro Sakamoto was once a legendary hitman considered to be the greatest of all time. Bad guys feared him. Assassins revered him. But one day, he quit, got married, and had a baby. Now he's living the quiet life as the owner of a neighborhood store. But how long can Sakamoto enjoy his days of retirement before his past catches up to him?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a simple plot, but...
Simple, yep. Comedy, obviously. And he doesn't look as good as he once did either. He
classic
looks like
let his body go.
dad bod, running the store. And but he still got it.
Still got that kick.
So it'll be really enjoyable. This is animated by TMS Entertainment. And based on the trailers, it's looking like they're bringing a lot to the table.
It's the people that did Dr. Stone, Rent a Girlfriend, Fruits Basket, Relife. Those are the big ones that I can see.
Speaking of, we've got another season of Dr. Stone. I'm pretty far behind, so won't be watching.
4th season of Dr. Stone?
Will not be watching this core that comes out yet, but we'll get to it eventually.
What about this one?
I actually did not know that this was coming out. I assume that this is based on some one-shots maybe. I'm not too sure. And that's the Quintessential Quintuplets getting 2 special episodes. I'll definitely check them out. I mean, I like Quintessential Quintuplets. I think it's a very solid harem manga / anime. So I mean, I'll watch it, and I recommend if you haven't seen the Quintessential Quintuplets, you watch it. So
heck yeah. Next one we got I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class. Comedy, romance.
Couldn't tell by the title on that one, Matt. Thanks.
No, definitely not, you know.
Yeah, do you want to read the description for
that one? We got arch nemesis Hoju Sato and Sakamori Akane are notorious across their high school for their bitter rivalry.
Rivalry?
Wow, words. Every day is a new battlefield filled with constant bickering and fiery clashes, but everything changes when Sato's demurring grandfather delivers a shocking ultimatum. Marry his rival or lose the family business to the dog. Reluctantly, Sato agrees, and to his surprise, so does Akane. Now, the two must navigate life as an unlucky couple, sharing a house, meals, and even a bed, without tearing each other apart. Can they keep their embarrassing marriage a secret from their classmates? And what could have possibly motivated Akane to agree on the arrangement in the first place?
I'll put considering. I feel like this one it'll really depend on the characters, and
Yeah.
I'll leave that to Reddit and stuff to see if that is picking up pace or if it's you don't have to. Going on with some more season twos and above, if you will. We got My Happy Marriage season 2. We've got Unnamed Memory Act 2. Haven't seen either of the series, so it'll be skips for me.
Do you have My Happy Marriage on my plan to watch list? Just haven't gotten around to it.
You should get around to it.
I'm gonna do my best.
Looks like we're jumping into our first isekai.
We got I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any buff to clock out on time.
I mean,
Alright.
yeah, sounds like your classic fantasy. Moving on to another fantasy, we got possibly the greatest alchemist of all time.
Possibly the goat of alchemy, eh?
Both of these are gonna be skips for me.
Yeah. Next one we got Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf.
Welcome to Japan, a reverse isekai.
Yeah, pretty much. Their only hobby is sleeping. Ever since he was young, he would enter a wondrous world within the dreams and go for thrilling adventures. One day, he goes on an adventure with an elf girl he becomes friends with in his dream world. But it's put into an abrupt halt when they both get scorched with the dragon's breath. As he wakes up from his dream, he notices a familiar figure sleeping next to him. The elf girl from his dreams?
Oh, damn.
I didn't see that one coming.
I'll put considering. It sounds at least different.
Yeah, it's a different reverse style, you know.
Has a little bit, maybe could be good. Could be cute.
Could be cute, could not be cute.
Yeah, it's got a lot going for it. It's got gourmet. I like food. It's got, romance. That's not a typical title in your isekai, so maybe it'll be really cutesy and fun. You don't know. You never know. Then we got Madaka Koryawa is impervious to my charms. Comedy, romantic subtext, school. One thing I'll say is we have been getting a lot of more adult settings as opposed to your general high school setting in this past year, which has been nice. I think it's been.
That is true.
Not every story has to take place in a high school.
Yeah.
It can take place in college or, past high school. And we'll say it'll look a lot less sus in a lot of situations that some main characters are usually put in. And
true.
Just saying. But I just thought I'd make note that has been something that's been nice to see. But obviously, we got a lot of. Can't mess with the formula. It also, it works.
This next one I had to click on separately to get the full title of the show.
Oh my!
It is Bogus Skill Fruit Master - about that time I became able to eat unlimited number of skill fruits that kill you.
Yeah, that sounds just so generic. Then we got the Elf Girl's cat is secretly an S-ranked monster.
Got I'm a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic. That sounds reincarnation.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that if any of these series do blow up, I have no problem with checking them out. I don't hate fantasy, but there's just so many.
There is.
So I think just time is spent better elsewhere, if you will. Going on to another fantasy. Even given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest. That's pretty typical.
Classic. Next we got Fate Strange Fake. Another one of the good old.
Another addition into the Fate franchise.
Yeah.
Has no synopsis. I've not read the light novels, so.
Oh, this is connected to Fate Strange Fake Whispers at Dawn. I have in fact watched that.
Oh yeah.
So maybe I will give this a potential. I'll consider it depending what people are saying about it.
Then, moving on to something new, an action adventure fantasy.
Oh,
I left my A-rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths.
Ooh. Oh, this one's kind of neat. The one right after it. That's another. You probably haven't. It's a fantasy adventure.
Ooh, fantasy
Isekai
adventure,
reincarnation.
Isekai reincarnation, supernatural.
Head hunted to another world from salaryman to Big Four. Not gonna lie, the creature that's standing behind him in the
Look
picture,
like a gingerbread man.
but it's got 6 eyes.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
Anything but the gumdrop buttons. Oh, we got one. Next one, Ubel Blatt.
At least it's a short title.
It's true. That picture does intrigue me, but that's
It's just edgy enough to.
edginess.
It's just edgy enough. 2 moons,
yeah,
different
sold.
colors.
Easy. That's my weak point.
It's
I
based
gotta
on a
read the
manga.
description.
Based on a manga.
That's a good sign. Rumors stir throughout the land. When the wielder of the black sword dons his dark blade, all who stand in his path are torn asunder. I'm going to pronounce this bad. Konzel, the mysterious young boy who carries the black sword, undeniably wields it with exceptional skill. But can he truly be responsible for the bloody rumors? Pursued by the traitorous lances, 4 powerful warriors who are thought to have been defeated by the 7 heroes, the strength of the young swordsman will be tested to his limit. At battle's end, only the shocking truth of his quest will stand above the corpse of his enemies. An epic fantasy on the grandest of all scales.
I'm putting considering.
Wow, that took me for a loop, but I'm intrigued.
It's that epic. It's got a nice edgy.
Hero.
Yep.
It's got it. Wait a second. If you look close enough, it looks like he has daggers at the end of his ponytails.
Even better.
I genuinely think so, but it is. He's got like, what the heck?
Sign me up. I'm in.
He's in that little Batman pose.
Then we got I Have a Crush at Work.
Oh no, 2 people.
Adult cast, comedy, romance, workplace, based on a manga.
Yep, this just looks cringe. Is it bad that they just kind of look like anime versions of Jim and Pam?
They kind of do. But the art feels a bit generic.
Yeah.
But considering, you never know, some of these like these rom-coms, they do end up being really good.
It's true.
So we'll see. Based on its popularity, it's got to be at least known.
Yeah. Next up, we got I'm Living with Nutaku Neat Konichi. Konichi?
Kunoichi?
Konichi? Then we got, that was a comedy romance supernatural. And then we got next one called Honey Lemon Soda. It says romance in school. I don't know. The name sounds cute.
Yeah, based on a manga.
So that's a good sign. This down. There we go. Next one, we got Toilet Bound Hanako-kun 2.
Yep, season 2.
Yep. Then we got Blue Exorcist after that. Yeah.
Then we got an ecchi fantasy harem isekai, the daily life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world. We're starting off 2025 with fantasy on overdrive. It feels like, as we now have Magic Maker. Oh, I see what I did there. I put them together. Wow, my brain is reading much faster than my eyeballs are, and my mouth is speaking. Magic Maker isekai Maho no Surkurikata. I am so sorry. It's gonna be a no though for me, dog.
This next one is technically an isekai. And it's Power Ranger-y.
It's definitely Power Ranger, but also looks Genshin Impact-y.
Yeah.
Based on some of the character designs.
The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world.
That's what we like to see. I mean, isn't Power Rangers kind of an isekai?
Not really.
Or all the aliens take place here?
Like, they all come to Earth.
From another world, or just from in the same universe?
Same universe, yeah.
Okay. There's
been some time travel, but that's not.
That's interesting then. Power Ranger gets sent to another universe. That's interesting.
Saki Toga was the Red Ranger in a heroic Ranger squad. During their final battle against the ultimate evil organization, he suffers a crushing defeat and resigns himself to death. That is, until he finds himself reborn in an entirely different world. Embracing his new role as an adventurer, he transforms into Kuzuni Red and continues his pursuit of justice, helping those in need. Enjoy this heroic tale of a ranger becoming the protector of another world.
If you guys don't know, Matthew runs a Power Ranger campaign with his friends.
I do, for an RPG style.
I feel like you gotta at least give it a 3-episode try.
I mean, I gave Go Go Loser Ranger
If
a
anything,
try.
it'll
so
give you some ideas.
It could. This will be what my next camp sessions would be. So
Yeah, you just send them to another world, and you're like, you're now actually in charge of protecting this fantasy world.
Done deal.
We got Grisea, Phantom Trigger. Looks
Just
like a
girls
bunch of
in
schoolgirls
school.
with a lot of weapons. Kind of
Yep.
reminds me of Angel Beats
Fair.
from the
She's got
initial
the
look.
purple hair.
Yeah, gotta have the purple hair.
We got. Oh, I gotta click on this one because the title is ... Where'd it go? Okitsura fell in love with an Okinawan girl, but I just wish I knew what she's saying.
I think that's Okinawan
Okinawan.
from like Okinawa.
Oh, that would make sense.
Comedy, love, polygon, romance. I would consider. I'll give it the 3-episode try. Always down for a love triangle with extras.
Mm-hmm. Now this next one, Connor. We watched the first season as one of the anime of the months this year.
Oh,
I just processed. I was like,
I
why
was
does
like,
this
does
title
this
sound
sound
so familiar?
yes, this is true,
I think it's June or July. I think we watched the season 1 of this.
and that's a Shura.
Shura. So season 2 is coming out. If you listen to our review of first season,
It wasn't the highest rated.
wasn't the highest rated, so we may or may not.
I'll put considering. We'll see how things are going.
Yeah.
Let's kind of.
Is there anything else that's popping out, really?
Yeah, I'm just kind of speeding
Scrolling
through.
down here. Anything worth being like, oh, yeah, this.
We've got Studio Mappa working on Zenshu, which is actually an original work, which kind of feels unlike Mappa, considering they take on just every big title. It feels like at
Yeah.
this, the past few years at least.
Otaku Culture Workplace.
After graduating from high school, Natsuko Hirose starts her career as an animator. Her talent quickly flourishes, and she makes her debut as a director in no time. Her first anime becomes a massive hit, sparking a social phenomenon and earning her recognition as an up-and-coming genius director. Her next project is said to be a romantic comedy movie themed around first love. However, having never been in love herself, Natsuko struggles to understand the concept of first love. And as a result, she's unable to create the storyboard, causing the movie production to come to a standstill. So not a very original plot in terms of the whole someone's never experienced love, they need to figure out how to write about it, or in this case, obviously produce a film about it. But I would put considering. I definitely feel like I'll give it the few episode try and see
what it looks like.
See how it goes.
I'm definitely gonna watch the trailer after we're done recording, just to kind of see the vibe of it.
Yeah, maybe you could watch the trailer and you can see Matt's reaction to it.
Maybe
as a short.
We'll see. All right, let's skip on just quick to like movies and OVAs. See if there's anything worth mentioning.
I'm just gonna quickly scroll, see if any other studios or big names pop out near the bottom of this list. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, nothing.
Heading on to the movies.
I will be going to the movies to see one of these movies in 2 weeks. Fun fact.
The Lord of the Rings?
I am, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with any of these ones outside of the Lord of the Rings one, which takes place, like it says, set 183 years before the trilogy. They are having Christopher Lee, like recorded lines and extra dialogues that weren't in the movies to be in this movie. So it'll be kind of cool to see his voice on the big screen.
Very cool.
Yeah, nothing in there for movies otherwise. And then OVAs, we got Beastar's final season.
Which, as of recording this, is actually out now.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Part 1, it looks like. It looks like they're doing it in splitting, maybe? Based on that picture, it just says part 1.
Yeah. Could be a 2-core.
Could be. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, great series. If you haven't checked it out, some beautiful 3D animation by Orange. I feel like it's one of the only studios you can really trust to produce some very solid 3D animated shows.
Trigon Stampede, right?
Yes, they've done Trigon Stampede. I believe they're also the ones who've done Land of the Lustrous, but don't quote me on that. Yep, they are the ones who have done Land of the Lustrous as well, which was absolutely stunning. So definitely worth checking out if you like anthropomorphic storytelling. This is the one for you.
This is the one.
Also, it's just very interesting. I do, I mean, we've seen it in media as well, but I really do like the concept of when they have the animals living together and someone who is a carnivore, like, is going against their instincts because they're trying to live
Honestly,
with, like, herbivores and stuff.
the show itself actually deals with, like, things of addiction and racism and, like, minorities and
Yeah,
stuff.
it has a
and
lot.
it's really well done in that aspect.
Absolutely. So I think it's a good show to check out. Obviously, we're coming. I think this is will be the final season. If
Yeah, it
I'm
is the final
not
season,
mistaken.
yeah.
So
If
definitely check it out.
if the ending is good, I might pick up the manga because at this point I'm too invested to the show to I just don't want to read it.
Yeah, fair.
But because it's on its final season, so if the landing sticks, I might pick up the manga. Which is like, for those who don't know, that's a bigger deal for me because I don't collect manga as much.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and then it would be my third full series that I've collected. But yeah,
So I guess
anything else really pop out? I don't know. A one shot of My Hero Academia getting adapted.
yeah, no one cares about that stuff.
But
Yeah, I guess we'll just quickly go over. So for the ones that seem like they're gonna probably be at least watched or give a few episodes to, we got Soul Leveling Season 2, The Apothecary Diary Season 2, Sakamoto Days. Definitely check out that one. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna be talking about it a lot, I think, next year, or at least we're gonna talk about that anime, and then we'll probably be talking about the sales as we hit the 6-month sales and the year. I do think we'll see that in the top 10 potentially. I did make a big prediction last year that didn't pan out, but I think that this one's get better because it's at the start of the year.
that's fair.
I think Dan to Dan, I think next year we could see it a lot higher. I just think the anime's not even done airing yet,
Mhm.
and we've gotten the final numbers for sales for the year. So it
Exactly.
just didn't have enough time,
To grow.
yeah, to to rise, if you will. Sometimes you gotta let the dough set and rise. But we also got the quintessential quintuplet specials. I'll check those out. I mean, it's only 2 episodes, so it'll be easy. I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class. Welcome to Japan, Ms. Elf. Madaka Koryawa is impervious to my charms. Fate's strange fake. I'm gonna leave that one to Matt potentially. Yubel Blatt, just edgy enough. Good synopsis. Could be generic as all heck, but
But sometimes generic
you got
says,
me.
I
I also put down I have a crush at work. Down is a 3-episode try potentially. I'm living with an otaku neat kunoichi. Honey lemon soda sounds
cute.
very wholesome. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see something wholesome amongst some of this stuff that we have.
I'm gonna attempt to watch The Red Ranger Became an Adventure in Another World. Feel obligated to.
Yeah, I mean, it could be
but
good.
It could be
You never know.
good. I don't want to. I don't
I
want to.
also fell in love with an Okinawan girl, but I just wish I know what she's saying. Kind of gives me the vibes of the Russian girl show.
Yeah.
Like doesn't understand what she's saying, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. Ashura second season, but a really hard maybe. And then lastly for me, I have the Zenshu, which is the Mappa original,
Which I think could be good.
which could be good. And then for movies, Matt did say he's going to be seeing The Lord of the Rings. If the problem for us when it comes to anime movies is one, the theaters locally to us have to
Have to have it.
have
yeah.
to have the movie is one thing, so we don't look as hard into the movies to see. But if Colorful Stage is good, if Make a Girl is good, we will definitely probably end up checking them out. It's just unlikely that they're going to be in our local theater. So,
Which is so unfortunate.
but I'm sure Matt will probably release something, or he'll talk about it on the podcast if the Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, is good or not, and you guys should check it out. And let us know in the comments below what you're looking forward to, if there's something we missed. And once again, apologies if you guys are big light novel fans and some of those shows are something you've been looking forward to. let us know if we made a mistake and we need to check them out, because we will definitely check them out.
We want to be proven wrong.
Exactly. We want to be proven wrong. There's just too many is the
There
problem.
is.
So
Yeah.
if one of those isekais or just fantasy light novels is your favorite, drop a comment down below and we'll check it out for sure. Other than that, look forward to next week as we jump into the yearly top manga sales. I'm excited to go into that. We did do 6 months previous. That'll be linked down in the description below if you want to kind of see where we're at before we jump into that episode. But anything else to add, Matt?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we got a few episodes that are, like we mentioned, these next few episodes are going to be very traditional at the end of the year with now the anime of the month, manga sales, winter anime, and then just stay tuned for next year because we got some fun things hopefully coming down the pipeline. But stay tuned.
Yeah, and to stay tuned, you got to hit that subscribe button or the follow button if you're listening to us on a podcast platform. And don't forget to drop a like and a comment.
And also subscribe to our gaming channel because
That's
we
true.
have a gaming channel where 2 of our fellow Misfits, Troy and Eddie, stream 1 day a week each right now. Check Troy out on Tuesdays and in theory Eddie on Thursdays.
Actually, Troy will be streaming on some weekends too during this
Ooh.
December. He has an early access to the PoE 2, which is Path of Exile 2 if you don't know. So check out his streams, and he's also going to be starting up a Spider-Man playthrough on PC. It's his first time playing through, and it should lead nicely into the Spider-Man 2 release on PC. So if you want to see some Spider-Man gameplay, go check out Troy on the Nerdy Misfit Gaming.
And yeah, that's it. And until then, we'll see you next Wednesday and every other day that you guys listen to us.
Yep. Until then.
We'll see you then. Bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you, and see you next week.